You may or may not be asking yourself when you clicked on this video, Nate, why did you have so many pets? And to that I say, why not? Throughout the course of my eventful 22-year lifespan, I've managed to own a completely normal amount of pets. And now I'm going to force you to watch me go through all 17 of them, from the ones that changed my life to the ones that I seriously questioned. The first pet I ever had was a dog named Bert, a black Labrador. I was basically a sentient potato, so I don't really remember her. But according to my parents, she was a great dog and really great at stealing my baby toys. But then after Bert passed, my parents wanted to fill the empty void with another Labrador. So one day, my family and little old me went to a farm to look at puppies. I was off in the distance doing little kid things, as the owner then let out the hound of puppies free from their kennels so my parents could meet the dogs. Oh wow, honey, look at this one go! That dog is so fast! Never mind. We are not getting that one. My parents rushed over, but before they could get to me, a furry friend had already beat them to it. This being Hawkeye. I bet you're wondering, how did you guys come up with such a unique and cool name like Hawkeye? No one is thinking that. Her name came from my parents' favorite sports team. Sorry, dude. Unlike Bert, this time I was still a potato, but a potato that could have conscious memories. Like how I would ride her around like a horse. But these moments of pure horsing around were rare, because it didn't take long before my mom became the undisputed ruler of Hawkeye. And honestly, it made sense. She was the one feeding her, walking her, doing everything I wasn't doing, or whatever. Still, I tried to make every second count when Hawkeye would give me attention, because the moment my mom entered the room, as years went by with Hawkeye, the family dog, my older sister started to get jealous too. So naturally, she did what any reasonable teenager would do. She asked for her own dog as a birthday present. And on the night of her birthday, I knew there was no way my parents would say yes. Like, there's no way they're gonna give her a surprise! Happy birthday! Oh my gosh, a dog! I can't believe you guys actually got me a dog! And just like that, we had Hershey. My sister named him after her favorite chocolate bar. Turkish Delight just didn't roll off the tongue. He was a teddy bear breed, basically a short king for life. And even though Hershey and Hawkeye were total opposites, it didn't take long before they became best friends. I guess opposites really do attract. But while Hershey looked like a stuffed animal, this dude was a straight up spitfire. Here are just a few of his most delightful traits. The worst stink breath known to mankind. He'd poop outside, run back in the house immediately after, and then drag his poopy butt all over the living room carpet. Oh, and I can't forget this gem. I tried to play tug of war with him, and he bit me in the balls. Like, that is not cool at all. And while technically he was my sister's dog, it didn't take long before Hershey started to look up to Hawkeye. Hershey literally started copying everything she did. So eventually, like a loyal disciple, Hershey too would fall under the spell of one by one, we all lost our dogs to Mother. Meanwhile, I was busy just trying to run back a casual game of tug-of-war with Hershey, and this time, he bit me in the chin! Dang! Well, still better than the balls. You know what? You almost just gotta love him for everything that he isn't. These two chaos goblins made my childhood 10 times better, and after they passed, we all kind of thought, okay, that's it. No more dogs. We had our fun. Well, everyone except for Mom. Go figure. Fast forward not even a month later, we were back on another farm, looking at, drum roll please, more Labradors. Are you guys picking up on the trend happening here? I was fresh into high school at this point, and I refused to let what happened last time at the farm happen again. Aw, you're not gonna tackle me, are you? Mom! She's perfect! And that's how we got our present-day family dog, Nestle. Another dog named after chocolate. But man, raising her was a nightmare. I gladly let my mom take the reins on this one. She was the only one who could tame that wild beast. Because the one time I was left alone to babysit Nestle, it looked like this. Dude! Nestle is unique. She's like a Labrador from Wish. She was raised during a time when the entire world shut down for like 2 years. And oh boy, does it show. She will only play fetch if she's holding 2 tennis balls at all times. She has no personal space and is a fiend for attention. And she has 0 survival instincts. Nestle had so much human interaction growing up, she basically became one of us. I'd come home from school expecting the usual tail wags and barks. Rather, I'd be met with an eerie sight. I wouldn't be surprised if Nestle could speak. Of course I can. Just because she acts human doesn't mean her IQ matches. And as she got older, she bulked, transforming into a 60-pound, small-scale polar bear. So I started calling her Bear as a nickname. Yet, even with her massive size, she thinks she's a lapdog. But even with all of her quirks, Nestle's kind of the best. And I wouldn't trade her for anything. Okay, Bear, get up. I can't breathe. My obsession with bunnies started during my middle school YouTube phase, where I'd fall down 3-hour rabbit holes watching bunnies do what bunnies do. But I was hooked. And with my birthday coming up, I remembered how my sister got a whole dog just for asking. So naturally, I pushed my luck, asking for a bunny. And like any sane and reasonable parent would say, sorry, Nate, if we get you a bunny, then we'd have to get your brother and sister one too. You know, to make it fair. So what started as one bunny somehow turned into a full-blown bunny trifecta. We all piled into the car, hit the nearest pet store that same day, and walked out with 3 female baby bunnies. I had Charlie, my sister had Millie, and my brother had June. The 3 were siblings, raised together from birth. So naturally, they got along great. Jeez, who treats their own sibling like that? Is that my cheese string? Mom bought these. They're for all of us.
Give me back my cheese string now.
This is my cheese string too, you idiots.
I'm gonna kill you.
In just the first week, Millie immediately began raising hell. Chewing cords, spraying pee across the room, and initiating WWE-style brawls with June on the daily. Now, that behavior was odd for female rabbits. So we took them to the vet to get spayed, aka having their chaos powers surgically removed. The operation went great. The 1 female and 2 males are recovering just fine. Millie and June were both dudes? The pet store told us all 3 were girls. We literally got scammed right before our eyes. It all began making sense. Millie and June were both trying to rizz up Charlie, who was also their sister?
What the hell?
Real quick, I'm doing a face reveal at 1 million subscribers. We're 40% the way there, so I'm gonna show you 40% of my face. Wha-bam!
Bugs, what's that in your ear?
Oh, these? This video is sponsored by Raycon, and these are my new everyday classic earbuds. Having pets, my house sounds like a zoo. So when I need peace and quiet to work, I use Raycon's active noise cancellation. I can't hear a thing right now. Am I talking too loud or is that just me? And if I do need to hear the world, I just tap into awareness mode. I've been using these while making videos, and they're insanely comfy with up to 32 hours of battery life. Plus, quick charge gives me 90 minutes from just 10 minutes of charge. Good boy. Plus, their multi-point connectivity means I can pair with 2 devices at once. Just look at these colors. I'm rocking the sleek black earbuds with the blue water case. You could say I'm pretty cool. Over 4 million people already love Raycon, and they've got a 30-day happiness guarantee. Raycon's going big for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Everything's up to 30% off. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/bugs to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. The perfect holiday gift. Or just gift yourself. You deserve it. Are you done yet? Now let's get back to bunny mayhem. Nonetheless, it became clear Millie had won Charlie's love, and that the 2 males needed to be separated, which called for 2 massive pens that for some reason both ended up in my room. Nothing like the fresh smell of rabbit food, litter box, and poop in the morning. Oh, and to make things even better, bunnies are most active at dawn. So my morning alarm clock sounded something like this for the next 6 years of my life. Eventually, as the bunnies grew up, the chaos mellowed out and we let them roam free during the day. Which is when things got interesting because guess who else was still around during this bunny reign? Hawkeye and Hershey. And they just loved the bunnies. But after years of cleaning hay, dodging pee puddles, and losing sleep, it got to be too much, leaving my family to make the decision to have them adopted. Charlie, Millie, June, I hope you're somewhere out there chewing someone else's phone charger. Although saying goodbye sucked way more than I expected. So much so that I would come crying to my parents' bedroom in the middle of the night. Mom, I miss Charlie. Well, you know, your birthday is coming up. We could get you another bunny. And that's how I got Gizmo, named after the little guy from the Gremlins movie. Do you guys see the resemblance? This dude was the actual goat. He acted like a mini dog, liked belly rubs, and rode around on my Roomba cleaning robot for fun. And unlike the other bunnies, Hawkeye and Hershey respected Gizmo. This dude stuck with me all the way through babysitting Nestle, graduating high school, and even moving across the country. It was me and Gizmo versus the world. And after living the average bunny lifespan of 7 years, Gizmo passed away. But I like to imagine he's up in bunny heaven right now, drifting across the clouds on a Roomba. Now, if you thought 4 bunnies was already enough, I haven't even told you about my most exotic pet yet. The Teenage Mutant Ninja. Having turtles was never on our list of pets. Until one day, a neighborhood kid who was obsessed with turtles shows up to our front door. What's up, Sebastian?
I like turtles.
We didn't ask for them, but just like that, we were now the proud owners of Ted and Tony. I claimed Ted, my brother claimed Tony, and since they were different species, we didn't want a repeat of the June and Millie Battle Royale situation. So my dad helped build them separate tanks, which for some reason, both ended up in my room. Nothing like the smell of warm fish water and algae in the morning. Ted was a soft-shelled turtle, the chillest little guy on the planet. I swear he only moved whenever you weren't looking at him. I have a lot of fond memories of Ted, like the time I took him out of his tank to feed him grapes. Despite our few great times together, I came home from school one day where I was given the devastating news from my parents that Ted had died. Leaving us to be stuck with Tony, the polar freaking opposite of grape-eating Ted. Tony was a snapping turtle, a literal prehistoric dinosaur that was fed a carnivore diet of bloodworms, which are just as gross as they sound. This dude came out the gate ready to fight. You'd walk past his tank and he tried to bite you through the glass. And we were kids, so we didn't think much of it. Is this normal? Yeah, I think so. But over time, we noticed Tony was starting to get big. A little too big for our liking. The tank was starting to feel less like a habitat and more like a prison he was gonna break out of. And we were not wanting to be in the way of his wrath once he escaped. So I called up the same kid who gave him to us. Yo, Sebastian, Tony's massive. Where did you even get him? Oh, just the pond down the road.
Tony was from the wild?
We legit had a wild dinosaur living in our house. And so, after one too many close calls, we decided to do the only thing that made sense. We set him free. All right, Tony, you're free now. Go live your life. Ah! Ah! And just when we thought we'd finally reached our limits, my family decided it was time for something a little more low maintenance. Fish are the epitome of simplicity. I'm pretty sure it's a universal law that every kid must own a fish. So with the few spare coins my brother and I managed to scrape together, we fulfilled our childhood destiny and bought the cheapest fish we could find. A beta fish. Which, I'm gonna be real with you, I do not remember its name. Now, I don't know what my brother and I expected when we first got it, but dang was this thing boring. I thought fish were supposed to like swim fast, jump out of the water. I don't know, talking would have been cool, but instead, fish number one just sat there, aura farming 24/7. Is it broken? Maybe it's lonely. Wait, why have one fish when you can have two? And with our last few nickels and dimes, we now had beta fish number 2. The two of them being the same species, naturally, they got along great. And that's how we learned beta fish hate other beta fish. I guess you could say that one of them was trying to be the alpha. We went ahead and bought a second tank. And you'll never guess whose room they ended up in, where the two of them competitively aura farmed until the very end. Well, this was the biggest waste of money ever. I'm going outside to swim. It was a hot summer day, and like most kids, I had a plastic kiddie pool with a slide. But to my surprise, there was something in my pool. Oh my gosh, are those? Not one, not two, not even three, but 4 toads were just chilling in my kiddie pool. And unlike the beta fish, these guys you could hold, pet, and play with.
Actually, you can get warts from touching toads.
Get him. After befriending all of the toads, it didn't take long for my little kid logic to quickly take over. Woo! Yeah, nice, nice. One more, one more, one more, one. This absolute high I was riding didn't last long though. Nate, dinner's almost ready. I think it's time you say goodbye to the toads. I was devastated. My boys. I gathered them all up, walked to the front yard, and released them back into the wild. Is what my mom thought I did. Shh, the garage is your safe haven. No one can hurt you here. Nate, who are you talking to in here? Nobody? So, that didn't last long. But after the fish and the toads, it was like I unlocked a new addiction. Collecting pets. That same night, right after dinner, I stepped outside. And that's when I found the next pet to add to my collection. Buddy, you okay? He couldn't even fly, and I wasn't about to just leave him to die in the night. So it became my responsibility to give him the best life possible. Alrighty, now fly! I had a whole 24 hours with this butterfly before he passed. And it was only right I then made him a proper burial, right in the middle of our front yard rock pile. Nate, what are you doing out here? Shh, a moment of silence. And that was the full rundown of my 17 pets. 17 chaotic, lovable, slightly psychotic animals that shaped my entire childhood. Honestly, at this point, the only thing I haven't owned is a tiger. I'm going to name you...